My name is Kelly, and I am living with ulcerative colitis. I was sick a lot as a child, and not doctor sick where I had to go to the hospital or anything, but would have to run to the bathroom almost immediately because I would get an urge to throw up. And this would happen a couple times a week. This was a regular occurrence from the time I was 5 or 6 years old to probably, it stopped happening 10 or 11. I started noticing a lot of symptoms and a lot of things that weren't right. Probably when I was about 16, things just didn't feel normal anymore. I started going to the doctor, and they were telling me that, I wasn't active enough and I was just eating too much junk food and too much fast food. And at the time I was playing tennis in high school and didn't think that that was the case because I had never been more active. I did have symptoms, but it was something that I could still control a lot. For me, the worst part was college. And I don't know if it was the fact that going to college is such a life-changing experience that you're on your own and it's more stressful and you're accountable for yourself and you have to get to class and you want to make sure you start off on a good note, and I put a lot of pressure on myself for those types of things. So I don't know if I kind of helped create my symptoms. That's when I really started to notice that something was very wrong with me. When I was back home from college that summer, I went to my family practitioner that I'd been going to. She ran a couple of tests on me, noticed my white blood count was elevated. She thought maybe I needed to go see a specialist. I had a lot of symptoms of what could be ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, but they did tell me that there was a possibility that I could have colon cancer, and that may be something I would have to deal with. And of course, I was like, I've been going to the doctors for 3 years. Could I really be having colon cancer for the past 3 years? So it was a hard pill to swallow at 19, and it was very overwhelming. Even thinking about it now is, it brings it all back, and it's really emotional. It was really hard because, you're 19 and you're supposed to be having fun, and you're not supposed to be really dealing with, the possibility of diseases or cancer. I had my first colonoscopy that summer, and they had found, oh my gosh, I used to remember the exact number, but it was, I think it was over 50 quote-unquote pseudo-polyps, which is if your colon has had a lot of inflammation, that it will inflame into what looks like polyps, but they really are not any growth at all in your colon. And everything came back benign, which was great. And that confirmed that I had ulcerative colitis. They started me on a medicine regime that day, so I could figure out a medicine that would help control my symptoms. I thought, oh my gosh, this is great. I won't have to deal with this anymore. I can just take my medicine and it'll be fine and everything. And then that turned out to not be the case. I got a call from my doctor when I was in an internship in Virginia saying that my white blood count that she just had gotten back from my last blood test was through the roof, and I had an infection running rampant through my body pretty much, and was asking me if I had any of these, lists of symptoms, and I didn't. It was just really weird, and I didn't know what that meant. I had an appointment the next day to go see a gastroenterologist in Virginia, and he was this amazing doctor. He told me to only take this one medicine, and she was gonna put me on 2 or 3 different medicines. So I started taking that medicine. I've been very blessed and lucky that that medicine has been able to keep me relatively symptom-free. The doctor in Virginia didn't push me towards steroids, that he understood why I didn't want to go on them. Probably would have turned out differently if I hadn't gone to see him. He was just amazing. I'm approaching the 10-year mark, and one of the big differences with ulcerative colitis versus Crohn's disease is that your colon cancer risk increases dramatically. Chances of colon cancer goes up by 50%, and then it keeps elevating from there with every passing decade. I do want to say one big thank you to my parents and to my best friend Rebecca. They have been with me in this journey since day one. I really can never repay them for what they've given to me, and for always listening to me and being there for me. I just want it to be a chapter in my life and not the plot line.